No, I left that behind in my 20s. No. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Good.
A YouTube show. It's a one. Tonight in the show, we're gonna teach you how to make Adam's mom's dinner in a pumpkin. That's right. Tonight's dinner will be made in a pumpkin. It's that time of year. Autumnal, festive, and 90 degrees in Ohio. I bought this pie pumpkin a couple weeks ago in a very rare and somewhat spontaneous moment of feeling festive. We had a false fall. False fall is what we had. Things were cool, there was wind in the air, it felt like summer was coming to a close, and here we are, it's hotter and blazes again. That's okay.
Happens every year.
Yeah, it does. It does happen every year. So I bought this pumpkin, this pie pumpkin, with no explicit or intended purpose for it. And I went to the old PGC Discord link in the description and said, what do I do with this? And our boy Moisha, aka Adam, said, my mom makes this nice thing. Here is the recipe. And here is printed out on a Word document, copies of her notes. So you know it's legitimate. And many thanks to Adam for explaining to me the things she does different from the recipe. I'm very tired. I just chewed some caffeine gum and I feel nothing.
Emotionally?
No, emotionally I feel fine. I just feel tired. But I figure, why not comply with the process? You know, the old familiar process. You're not feeling too good, feeling pretty tired, and it's a Tuesday. Let me just throw some booze in the tank, see what happens. All right, I finished my first drink, and John very kindly poured me this shot of Jaeger. I'm just kidding. John's actually just drinking Jaeger himself out of a glass. What a guy. I don't want that. Don't put that evil on me. No, no. No, I left that behind in my 20s. No. Listen, if there's any children watching this episode, what I just did there, that's how you say no to drugs. No! Did I put vodka in there already? I don't remember.
Uh-oh, better do it again.
Oh man, that's the you're tired special. Is it a 1 shot or 2 shot? Who knows? Because you can't remember. Who knows? No problem. I've been a good boy. Okay, this has been the preamble. We gotta cut up that pumpkin stack. All right. Okay, so if you're a normal human being, you don't just have pumpkin carving tools, you know, in your kitchen at all times. But I do. I do. So let me use that. This is a pumpkin carving tool, similar to as if we were carving a jack-o'-lantern. We're gonna open this pumpkin from the top. This is pretty similar to a steak knife, but less useful. Okay, here's our lid. If you wanna save the seeds, you can. In general, what you wanna do when preparing this is you wanna get most of the goop off of the pumpkin. This was made in China in 2016. It's called the Goop Scoop. It's literally called the Goop Scoop. That's amazing. All right, if you feel gross about this, you could use gloves, but in reality, you should just put your adult pants on and use a Goop Scoop to scoop the goop. I'm not sure if this is better than just using a spoon, primarily because it's small, my hand is directly in the goop with the scoop, which I am not enjoying. But that's okay. You know, it's not important for me to enjoy this process, right? What's important is that we're putting dinner in a pumpkin. I think I put 2 shots in it. I can taste the alcohol.
You definitely did.
You knew! You should have told me. Okay, executive producer John. All right, so we gotta put a hole in this. And my favorite instrument for puncturing holes is this very, very clean metal skewer that I have never stabbed myself with in my life. So I'm just gonna make a couple holes, trying to keep the skewer away from my hands so I cannot injure myself. All right, we got the pumpkin, we got the lid. Oh, that lid needs a little more scraping. Get out of here, you goop. All right, now you set that aside. And by set aside, in this house, that means just leave it where it is. All right, next step, we gotta make the filling. I forgot to mention, this pumpkin, the recipe calls for an approximate 4-pound pie pumpkin. I thought that I got one that was too small. But again, as we've talked about on the show many times, I don't understand volumes, I don't understand weights. This bad boy was 5.5 pounds. So we might have to cook it a little bit longer. But there should be enough filling to actually, you could do multiple pumpkins if you want. All right, let's make that filling. It starts with a beef, and I am pleased to report that my value of being a value shopper, I'm using 2 different packs of discount beef that I got on 2 different occasions. Those savings stack. All right, so in a skillet, a larger skillet, we're gonna brown the beef. And in this case, I've got some lean ground beef and some old-time lean ground sirloin. What's the difference? Okay, now while that's, I should have put, I should put something in the pan a little bit. Because it's lean beef, you might need to add a little oil. Just a smidge. One of the ingredients I need for this is in my garden, so let's go grab that. Come along, Vinny. Here I am in my garden. I need some green peppers. These peppers were sold to me as long hots. They are long, but they're not hot at all. So I'm gonna use these peppers from the plant in place of a green bell pepper. That's it. After you, good sir. Smells like burning. Why does it smell like burning? Preheat the oven, 350. Okay, now let's chop some vegetables. Vegetables and vegetables. That's right. Good one, Phil. Thanks. Okay, as if we were making Cajun food, or the other one. We're gonna use celery, onion, and bell pepper, or just pepper. Now the recipe calls for very specific amounts of these each, and I think I might actually go through the process of seeing visually what those ratios look like, and then I'm gonna ignore them. And that's not a slight to Adam's mother, who I am assured, by all available sources to me, is a very nice lady. But I just can't follow recipes. I can't. I just gotta put the amount of vegetables that feels right to me. It calls for 1/3 of a cup of bell pepper. It calls for 3/4 of a cup of chopped onion and 3/4 of a cup of celery. So, if I were to follow the recipe, it would look something like that. But I'm not following the recipe, and actually, this time, I'm out momming the mom. Let me just sneak some more vegetables in there, so you can grow up to be a handsome boy with a good smile. That's right. Yeah. Like with almost anything in cooking, you can add as many vegetables as you want. Now, I'm not overly concerned about the relative doneness, I suppose would be the term, for these vegetables. But I'm just gonna throw them in right now with the hopes of cooking them down a little bit, maybe getting a little bit of brown color. The recipe says cook these on medium heat. The recipe also says that we're gonna use a can of mushrooms, which in this house is anathema. I hate canned mushrooms, and so does Iggy. But an insight that I got from Adam's mom uses fresh mushrooms too. So that's what we're gonna use today. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in now so that they can cook down a bit. These are the cheapest mushrooms I could find at the store that I went to, and they will be just fine. I tend to prefer brown mushrooms. I don't know why. And today, I will try to wash the poop off the mushrooms. So usually I'm not worried about that. I'm still not worried about it, but when they're white, it shows all the poop stains. Kind of like briefs. All right, here I am chopping the mushrooms. Because this is a meat and rice and vegetable type of dish, you can chop these with as much precision or lack of precision as you like. You can just crush them and chop them if you want, but try to make them small enough that they're bite-sized. If you want to stem them, you certainly can do that. I feel like after throwing this in a pumpkin for, a long time, it's not going to really matter too much. I'm a little worried that we're going to run out of room in our skillet, but that's okay. The worst case is we will figure it out. All right, that's good enough for me. Then go ahead and pop these into there. I thought this would be big enough skillet, but I think I was mistaken. We'll find out. So just keep cooking these down. Okay, next up we're gonna add some salt I salted the beef a little bit, and we're gonna add some pepper. Smells great. Okay, next up we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce. Look how it just keeps going in, but not overfilling. Isn't that crazy? I guess that is how volumes work. And then 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, which I am going to eyeball and say, yeah, that's 2 tablespoons. Boom, fantastic. Give that a mix. And once the beef is browned, such as it is, we can add in cream of chicken soup. Moms love that stuff. I went for the name brand. Yeah, buddy. Chicken mayonnaise. All right, we can go ahead and lower that heat and try to mix it together. Wow, what a thing we're doing. I think this will taste so good. I really do. I'm just sad that I didn't pick a pan that was big enough. Like, everyone who has had this kind of thing knows exactly what this glop tastes like, and they know it's good. Okay, the last thing I have to add to this is 2 cups of cooked rice. Cooked is in quotes on the recipe, but I do happen to have cooked rice. Is it 2 cups worth? Yeah, sure. Probably. It looks close enough to me, to be honest, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dump it in. For me personally, this is not just regular rice. There is chicken stock and butter and bay leaves in it. So I've got a little bit of extra flavor going on. If you want to 100% replicate how I'm making this recipe, you can make rice a couple days ago, maybe 2 days ago, using that recipe. Doesn't this just look like it'll fill your gut? If it'll fill a pan, it'll fill your gut. So right now I'm just trying to mix this up a little bit, get some of that dry rice, because you don't want big clumps of rice. That's good enough. I'll probably mix it around in the pumpkin. Now we just put it in the pumpkin, carefully. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm not even using the correct instrument, but here I go. I think almost all of it will fit. I'm optimistic. What do you think, John?
I think we'll see what happens.
Okay, I was definitely wrong about all of this fitting in. It's obviously not all of it. But I have myself to blame. I did not follow the recipe to a T. But also, I'm just gonna put it out there. I like where this dish is going. But wait, we're at the top and it just keeps filling.
Wait, how are you gonna fit the lid on?
Firmly. You can like press it into the sides. I think that's probably as much as we can do. It's like baking a football of food. Why did the pan sizzle when I did that? Boom, fantastic. All right, now because I was a slob and not a careful mother, I'm gonna have to clean the outside. But I will say that by cleaning it the way I am kind of oiling the outside of the pumpkin for a nice healthy sheen. Probably will look pretty nice after baking for a while. Now you take this here pumpkin full of stuffing, and you bake it. The recipe suggests baking for around 1.5 hours or until the outside of the pumpkin is tender. In our pumpkin goes. We'll check on it after a while. All right, we'll see you in 1.5 hours. Probably a little bit before that. It's been 1 hour. Our pumpkin's looking roasty. You can see that the filling has squished that up a bit. And the pumpkin is supposed to be tender and pierceable, which it kind of looks like it is. And now it's dripping. I kind of think this is done, but I'm gonna let it keep going for a little bit, just in case it's not. It cooked faster. Maybe my oven's hot. I'm not sure. But I don't think there'll be any harm in continuing to cook it for a little bit. I might need to, I gotta plug that hole. I'm just a little worried about it. I'm gonna use a clove. Perfect. We'll be back. It's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I think this pumpkin's done. You can see our top popped. I ain't worried about that. I think that just means we have the maximum amount of flavor possible in there. So it's totally tender. You can see, look, if I squeeze on it, it's kind of moving. So I think it's good. Essentially, when we go to serve this, we're gonna scoop out dinner and kind of scrape some of the pumpkin side so you get that pumpkin mixed in with it. But as awesome as this is, you know, it could be better, right? If we were to decorate it with food items, which is part of the recipe. So we need to put olives in for the eyes. I only have calamantas, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, here's our face. Can I push the olive in? I totally can. This is amazing. Okay, let's get olive number 2 in. Next up is a carrot for the nose. We want that snowman nose. And then we can use cloves for the mouth. I know that I'm gonna burn myself. There's literally a fountain of fat pouring out of his nose, by the way. He just has seasonal allergies. Okay, and finally, parsley for hair. Maybe. We'll see. Doesn't this just scream 1970s? I think it does. I'm kind of proud of this. I kind of am. I kind of love it. I feel like if I was a kid and I was looking through my mom's cookbooks and I saw a picture of this, I would be like, let's make that. Let's make that right now. And that's how you decorate your dinner in a pumpkin. Okay, well, now that I've made this creature, we gotta serve him. So, let's see what we got inside. That glop looks familiar. I'm trying to get some pumpkin. Looks like that's actually really easy to do. See, you can scoop it. You can get some pumpkin flavor. Let's give it a taste. It's probably really hot, of course. Very good. Oh, the pumpkin is really good too. The pumpkin tastes fatty and kind of like beef. So Adam's mom serves us with like a little shaker of cinnamon. So I'm gonna do the same. Add a little cinnamon. That's maybe a lot of cinnamon. Yo, the cinnamon makes it way better. It's already good, you know, super home style, delicious food. But the cinnamon, definitely go for it. So it's kind of like shepherd's pie in a pumpkin. It's kind of what it reminds me of. I give it a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing your recipe, Adam's mom and Adam. And we'll see you next time on PGC. That's how we did it. Who knows exactly how Adam's mom did it. Bye-bye.